Part 2. Meanwhile, back at Shining Time, we see a young boy called Patch with Mutt next to the Welcome to Shining Time Station sign. There, Mutt. Paint job's finished. I reckon Shining Time is the best welcome sign of any part of our valley.
Roar, roar!
Mutt barked in agreement. Well, I'm glad you agree. Billy's old map sure helped a lot.
Roar, roar!
He's on his way back now, is he? You hear that train whistle sooner than it hears itself. We then cut to the majestic rainbow sun and see its driver, Billy Two Feathers, looking out of the cab window. He waves hello to two children waving back at him. But then suddenly he noticed P.T. Boomer approaching the railroad crossing. Billy blew the whistle as loudly as he could, but Boomer didn't stop. He went right across the tracks just inches from the rainbow sun as it went by. Boomer stopped for a bit and then continued on his way again. Back at Shining Time, Patch was feeding Mutt. Billy arrived.
Fine work, Patch.
Thanks. Is something wrong with the rainbow sun, Mr. Two Feathers? I heard your brakes go on.
Yeah, everything's okay, Patch.
Oh, I've been looking at your map. What are these mysterious shadowy lines doing on it? They look like straight railroad tracks, but I can't see any tracks around here except for the ones that you travel on.
It's mysteries that make this land so
magical? Billy made a hand gesture that says, "Yep." Well, I better be off to Muffle Mountain. I promised Mr. Stone that I'd clean out his yard today.
Does Burnett Stone ever give you a smile?
No, but he doesn't frighten my horse either. Which means I don't think he's a bad man. I think he's just sad.
This iron horse, mind you, serves me proud. But you two can cover every rock and cranny. If you ever see a stranger when you're out there riding, you let me know. Okay, Patch?
Oh, sure I will.
His name is Boomer.
Patch whispered to his horse. Okay, come on. And they gallop off. Later, Billy was walking back to Shining Time Station with the map in his hand. He stopped for a moment to smell the flowers on the basket and was about to put the map inside its holder when...
You're Billy Two Feathers. There was P.T. Boomer. You know who I am?
You're P.T. Boomer. You left this valley a long time ago when I became a railroader.
Well, now I'm back. For 2 reasons. You see that mountain over there? I'm gonna own it. It's gonna be mine. All mine. That mountain's not for sale. It belongs to Mother Earth. You will never own it. Well, you're wrong. The second reason I'm here is because I'm looking for Burnett Stone. Where is he?
Billy put the map back in its holder.
Wherever he wants to be. I guess innocence on everyone in the valley won't work. I'll find him. Yes, there is innocence here. Don't mess with it.
Boomer reluctantly turned to go when he looked at the hanging flower basket and angrily hit the basket with his hand, knocking a few flowers out, and then left. Billy picked up the flowers. Innocence is here because this valley is built on land that's special. Meanwhile, back in the world of Equestria, Derpy Hooves had traveled a long way from Ponyville to heading for Canterlot to tell the princesses about what the main six were doing. Along the way, she had a few spots of bother because of her klutzy nature, and she also stopped to get her favorite treat, muffins.
Lemon!
Soon she arrived at the front gates of the royal castle of Canterlot and asked 2 stallion guards to take her to meet the princesses. So the guards escorted her to the throne room. Inside the throne room, Derpy told Princesses Celestia and Luna about what was going on and what Twilight and her friends were doing.
So you see, Your Highnesses, Twilight and her friends are going to stay on the island of Sodor for a few days. All because of a big, meanie diesel engine called Diesel 10 being there.
Sounds to me like this Diesel 10 is hungry for some kind of power. And it also seems to me that Diesel 10 is beginning to remind us a lot of Discord. And this was before Discord's reformation. She looked at the stained glass window that showed the time Twilight and her friends defeated Discord when he took over Ponyville. Do you suppose he might be as chaotic and troublemaking as Discord, sister? I do believe so, Luna. And my hunch is correct. He's on to something that could possibly jeopardize not just Sodor, but the worlds beyond it, including ours. Oh, I just hope Twilight and the others will be all right. Back on Sodor, Diesel 10 had used his claw to carve his face into a mountainside. Pinchy, you captured the real me. I mean, that's beautiful. I could cry. Then 2 gray diesels arrived.
Boss, we're here.
All right, listen, you 2. I got a job for you, Splodge.
Actually, it's Splatter. And Dodge.
I ain't got time to say both names. Okay. I've come back to find a steam engine. Oh, that's easy. Easy. They're everywhere. Not the one I want. She escaped me once before with some crazy biker. As long as she still exists, so do the others. But if she can be destroyed... Destroyed? Did you say destroyed? D-word. Like hurt? Yeah, destroyed!
There's one small problem there, boss. Yeah, Mr. Conductor's coming and he won't let you destroy. No, he won't let you.
I can do whatever I want! I'll get him too, with Pinchy! His claw raised up and clashed, but then it malfunctioned and banged on his head. Ow! Pinchy! I hate it when you do that. Back at Shiny Time Station, Mud had just walked into the waiting room when he barked when he saw Mr. Conductor coming out of his signal house in a sparkling shower of gold dust. Well, hello, Mr. Conductor. Oh, hello, Billy. He then began humming to himself as he locked the door, then breathed on the window and polished it with his sleeve. Then he began to check to see if he had everything he needed. Toolkit? Check. Ticket puncher? Check. Aye. All aboard? Just testing, Billy. I mustn't let my conducting skills get rusty. Important day, Mr. C? Ho! It is a very important day. I'm going to the island of Sodor. You know, it's the only place in my universe where I really fit in size-wise. Sir Topham has given me a big responsibility. A diesel named Diesel 10 is there, and I must make sure he behaves himself. Excuse me. Well, I hope your visit goes well, Mr. C. Thank you, Billy. But, okay. Billy and Mutt left. I must be responsible, reliable, and... don't tell me... really useful. I knew that. At the front door, Stacy was talking on the phone with Mr. Conductor sparkled over. Stacy waved hello, and then a goldfish in a bowl made gurgling sounds as if he was talking to Mr. Conductor. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Glub, 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 glub.
As in,
I like your sparkle.
oh, well, thank you, Moby Dick. I like my sparkle, too. You know, gold really is your color. The goldfish gurgled in agreement, just as its owner, the little boy, came to take him. By that time, Stacy had hung up the phone and was gazing at a painting. Stacy, where did you find this painting?
In an old locker. It was done by Bernard Stone when he was a child. I was told that he used to work on an old railroad, but he never leaves the other side of the mountain now.
You seem puzzled, Mr. Conductor. Well, I am puzzled. This place looks like the island of Sodor, but how would Bernard Stone travel there without gold dust? Sparkle's been the only way to make the trip since the lost engine disappeared. Anyway, I just came to say goodbye. I have to go now. Right now? Well, yes, Stacy. I have to make sure everything is safe and sound on the island of Sodor just as I try to do here. Stacy watched as Mr. Conductor sparkled away, feeling quite worried that there could be danger. Outside, Mutt barked as he watched Billy climb aboard the steam engine of the Rainbow Sun. Like Stacy, Mutt sensed danger. He didn't want either Billy or Mr. Conductor to leave Shining Time. Billy gave Mutt a thumbs up, and then the dog went back inside. Mr. C was back outside of his signal house making final preparations. Old Smoky, you stay right here until I get back. Then he noticed Mutt as the dog sat on a bench. Ah! There you are! Is something wrong here? Mutt shook his head as he whimpered. Now what kind of an answer is that? I'm going to be late. I'll get back as fast as I can. I have to concentrate now, Mutt. I'm suddenly having problems with my sparkle. Poor Mutt covered his face with his paw and whimpered again. Mutt? Goodbye, Mutt. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle! He blew his whistle and magically sparkled away. Mutt covered his face again as he worriedly watched Mr. Conductor disappear. Meanwhile, on Sodor, Thomas passed by the watermill with Twilight in his cab, on their way to find Mr. Conductor. Mr. Conductor, where are you? I know you live far away, but you always seem to get here on time. You know, Thomas, I've never actually seen or met this Mr. Conductor before. What does he look like? Well, Twilight, he's a man who wears a royal blue uniform and lives in a place called Shining Time Station. And he can travel from place to place using magical gold dust. Gold dust? Magic? Sweet Celestia! Then they both noticed something by a small grade crossing. It was Mr. Conductor, who was just arriving in a shower of gold dust. Oh, Mr. Conductor, are you all right? Yes, Thomas, but sometimes everything happens at once. I have to see Sir Tom had to give my orders right away. Then he noticed Twilight in Thomas's cab. Oh, and you must be Twilight Sparkle.
Yes, that's me. But how did you already know my name?
Thomas has told me and my family stories about you, Twilight, and about how you come from a world called Equestria, and how you became a good friend to him, and that you're also an expert at magic.
Oh, well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I have been known to pull off a few magic tricks.
Indeed she does, Mr. Conductor. Well, why don't you show me all that later, Twilight? Although, the journey from Shining Time keeps getting bumpier and bumpier. Does it? Mr. C blew his whistle and he magically disappeared in a shower of gold dust, and then reappeared inside Thomas's cab, which made Twilight very surprised.
Holy Celestia!
A big bully named Diesel 10 is here, Mr. Conductor. You had better be careful. Sir Topham had warned me about Diesel 10. Don't worry, Thomas. Then Thomas left with Twilight and Mr. C in his cab. I'll just pop in and out with my sparkle wherever he goes and keep him in order. I hope.